All right, so you got the outdoor gadgets. Now the gardening tools are really popular, really popular. Anybody's mom's gardening here? Okay, anybody's dad's garden? My dad does more of the gardening than my mom. But these garden tools are phenomenal. They don't bend, they don't rust, they don't break. They're really cute because they're purple. There's different sets. There's a 3-piece set, a 4-piece set, and a 5-piece set. They're all listed on your page. You can check those out. Thank you, sir. Okay, so those are the garden tools. And then you've got the barbecue set. The barbecue set, very popular because it's 20 inches long, so you don't burn your arm hairs. So dads love this because has anybody like barbecue and you're like really close to the flame and you're like nervous and the flame's jumping up to get your arms there. So this will make it so you're never on top of the flame. It's a very popular set. Dads love this. Okay, so that's very, especially with July 4th coming up next week, that's a really, really cool one to add on. Okay, so that's the outdoor gadgets. Next page, actually the next couple pages, you just have the gift sets. These gift sets are really good for engraving and really good for gifts. So we do a lot of the buy 3 get 1 frees with these. If you have customers who have weddings and events and things coming up, the largest order in our office, is Nate Olk, $84,000 sale. That's the largest order that we've ever had in this office. Is $84,000. He was at 50%, so he made $42,000 in income. This was an order from his dad. Okay, his dad owned a business, had a lot of clients, and gave client gifts. Anybody's family have a business where they give gifts to customers, give to clients? Cutco is the best branding tool because they can do a company logo on it. So his dad put his company logo on it and gave it to all of his clients. And that $42,000 paycheck that Nate got for that one sale, he used that to pay for 2 years of college. So his dad said, hey, I'll buy this from you. I'll just buy all my client gifts from you. And instead of helping you pay for school, you just use that to pay for your tuition. So pretty cool, right? So if you have a customer that owns a business, they're going to spend money anyway, right? Like, so for those people who own a business, they're going to spend money on gifts anyway. They might as well help you out at the same time. Plus, Cutco's a way better gift than what they're probably giving because they probably give like a bottle of wine or something cheesy. And Cutco is an incredible gift that they can get engraved too. Engraving is super cheap. A lot of people engrave the spatula spreader. It's a really cheap engraving. It's only $7 for an engraving. So they can put a logo on there, they can put somebody's name on there, they can put their initials on there, but it's only $7 per knife for an engraving. Okay? You guys feel good about that? Any questions? Easy, simple. Anybody interested in a big order like that? Yeah. By the way, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? You can't sell it unless you show it, right? You can't sell it unless you ask. So, can't hurt to ask. So, all right, so that's that. You guys want to learn the Utopian coffee? Who had some Utopian coffee this morning? Isn't it incredible stuff? It's so good. It's so good. So on page 14, on the bottom page 14, it has all the details for Utopian coffee. You have the insert in the back of your blue book, so you can pop this in there. You can take it out, put it right in your book there. But Utopian coffee is the freshest coffee in the world. Now, when you buy coffee from Starbucks, anybody go to Starbucks? Maybe go to any other coffee shop for their coffee? Okay. Who makes it at home? Anybody brew coffee at home? Anybody's fam, not you. Anybody's mom and dad brew coffee at home? Okay, so when you go to a store, anybody buy coffee? Anybody's mom and dad brew coffee at home? They like buy the bag of beans at the store? Okay, so here's how that works. When you buy coffee from a store, there's a roasting process. So when you get the raw beans, I'm going to teach you about how coffee works. When you get coffee beans from the tree, right? So when you get coffee beans, those aren't ready to like put in the coffee maker and like grind up and make coffee from. They have to be roasted. So the roasting process is the most important process. The Utopian coffee gets the same beans from the same coffee farms as all the other high quality places. So like the places that Starbucks gets theirs from, or like all the high quality brands out there, a lot of those places they get the beans from the same place, the same raw material, but it's the roasting process that makes the difference. So when Starbucks gets their coffee, or when all these other brands get their coffee, they roast it and then they put it in bags. And then from the time that they put it in the bag, from the roasting process until you actually use it to make coffee, the average time is 4 to 9 months. 4 to 9 months. So when you go to Starbucks, the reason why they have to put all the syrup in there, put all the cream and sugar in there, it's because you're basically drinking rat poison. It's like nasty, disgusting, rancid, old coffee. Those beans were roasted like months and months and months ago. When you buy a bag at the grocery store, a bag of coffee, it's not fresh because that was roasted a couple months ago. It's been sitting in a warehouse in a cardboard box for months before it sits on the shelf of that grocery store. Even like a coffee shop, it's a month or two from the roasting process. The difference with Utopian is that Utopian, they roast it, they package it, and they ship it to the customer on the same day. They get their coffee within 2 to 3 days of it being roasted rather than 4 to 9 months later. So it's the freshest coffee you could ever have. I drink it daily. I used to drink coffee with cream and sugar. I never do anymore. I drink it black because Utopian coffee is so fresh. So it's impossible to get more fresh coffee than Utopian. Here's what's neat about it. You see where it says, do you drink coffee? So this is the script. So all you do is read the script. You say, do you drink coffee? They're going to say yes. You're going to say, do you buy it in a coffee shop or make your own? They're going to say, I make my own, or I do some of both. You're going to say, great, we have a partnership with Utopian Coffee. They are the Cutco of coffee. It's freshly roasted within days of being shipped, not 4 to 9 months like most coffee available. It's organic certified and fair trade certified, which is very, very important. They have a partnership give back project to support women and farmers around the world. So all of the coffee farms where they buy the beans from, they give back to those farms to help their processes more so they can have a higher yield so that those people make more money too. So they give back to a lot of the farmers that they work with. The Cutco My Utopia subscription, they save $2 per bag from the regular price. The coffee arrives on your doorstep, no need hassle to order. So it's automatic shipping. It's a residual shipping. Every month they get it shipped on the same day, and they never have to go to the store to buy it. It just shows up at their doorstep. There's no contract. They can cancel anytime. So if they try it out for a month or two and they just don't love it, they can cancel whenever they want. They're not locked in at all. The first order includes a dark, medium, and light roast. So a normal shipment is a 12-ounce bag. That's what all coffee comes in, a 12-ounce bag. The first one comes in at 4 ounces of each so they can try it out. And then on the second shipment, they'll be able to choose which one they want. So they can choose if they want the light, medium, or the dark. So the first one comes with all three. It's only $17. Now, I know you guys aren't in the world of coffee, but this is really cheap for coffee. Gourmet high-quality coffee is anywhere from $20 to $35 for a bag. So this is cheaper. You can't get coffee cheaper than this. So that includes the delivery fee, by the way. So the $17 includes the shipping. So it's cheaper than what they're going to find in a gourmet coffee shop. It's more fresh, and it's the best coffee on earth for a lot lower price. And there's no hassle because it comes straight to their doorstep. Bless you. So here's what's cool about Utopian is that they're not really buying it. They're just, they're just the money that they're already spending on coffee. They get to spend less on better stuff. So it's actually way cheaper for them to just switch over to Utopian. So it's the highest quality coffee that they can get. You say, well, you like to try it out. It's only $17. So they try it out for a month, they love it, they keep doing it. If not, they can cancel. Utopian's retention rate is over 95%. So when somebody buys Utopian and somebody tries it out, they stay with the Utopian. Like it is, nobody leaves it. It's like going to like the flat screen TV. You're not going to go back to like the old school tube TVs afterwards. Utopian is so delicious. So here's the cool thing for you. Now, your commissions, it doesn't work like the normal commissions for your Cutco knives. It works on a different commission scale. You get $2 per bag. $2 per bag. So if you sell, let's say you have 10 subscriptions, 10 customers on a subscription with Utopian, you get $2 per bag. So that's 10 bags, that's $20, and that's every single month. So every time they get a shipment, you get $2. Let's say by the end of the summer you have 40 customers on a subscription, that's $80, but you get $80 a month every single month, even when you're away at school. So it's residual income for you. Plus, they get the benefit of having the greatest coffee, so they're going to thank you every time they get a shipment. They're going to be like, "Oh, Tyler's my Cutco guy. He's the one who sold me this." Like, so they love it, and you make residual income the entire year. Now, a lot of customers, they'll buy multiple bags. So if they have a bigger family, I go through 2 bags a month, and I live by myself. So I go through 2 bags, because I drink it every day. A lot of families, they'll get like 2 or 3 or 4 bags a month. A lot of people, they'll buy it for their office, for their work, and they'll buy like multiple bags. So if does anybody have a mom or dad that works at a place that there's like a coffee machine, coffee pot, and everybody's like communal coffee? So that's a good idea too for that. So anyway, it's a good income opportunity for you, but it's a phenomenal product for them. Well, the Keurig sells like the reusable ones, so they could definitely do it. You just have to, yeah. They just grind it, they put it in there. So yeah, they could just buy one of those reusable Keurig deals. So that's fine too. So yep. You guys like that?
If you sell it to yourself,
Yeah, you make the $2. Yeah, so it only costs you 15. Yeah, so if you sell it to yourself, it only costs you 15. Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. So that's Utopia. Yep.
So does it only come in the beans you have to grind?
Oh no, so they can get it. They can get it whole bean, or they can get it already ground, and they can get regular or decaf too. So they can choose regular decaf, and they can get whole bean or ground. Yeah, it's awesome stuff. If your mom's and dad's drink coffee, have them try it out for a month, and if they like it, you can do it. If not, it's only $17. But if they, I would have mom and dad try it out because it's really, really good stuff. Plus, if you try it out at home and you drink it, then you're going to be able to promote it to your customers because you're going to know what it tastes like. If you're not a coffee drinker, just take a couple sips.
How would you go about promoting the fair trade aspect of it? Because a lot of people don't know what fair trade is.
Yeah, because that's more of like a past 15 years thing in college. You learn about fair trade. It just means just explain that fair trade means that they only buy the beans from farms that pay their employees livable wages.
Yeah.
So that's fair trade just means that they pay their employees livable wages. So we only buy from farms that treat their employees the right way. That's what it is. Cool. All right. So that's the gifts and accessories. You can close that. You guys want to learn the virtual demo?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, virtual demo. So turn to page 18 in your training manual. 18 and 19 in your training manual. What's up, Chase? I like that question. My favorite one. All right, so the virtual demo is really simple, really easy. On the top of page 18 and 19, it has the website for the virtual demo. It says viewcutco.com, but we have a different website. And so I want you to write this in. We have a different website that we use in our office. It's called tinyurl, so it's TINY URL, so tinyurl.com/cutcodemo. So it's tinyurl.com/cutcodemo. Now this was designed by our district manager, Will Haugen, in our Fort Collins office. He made this virtual demo. Now the company virtual demo is very similar, but Will upgraded it, and we're just keeping it in-house with our division. We don't want to tell all of our secrets because this is really, really sweet. He made some cool upgrades to this, and we're not letting anyone know the secrets. So tinyurl.com/cutcodemo. Now the Cutco demo, the virtual demo, it's a Prezi presentation. Has anybody ever used a Prezi presentation? Prezi is really cool. It's like an online PowerPoint. But what's neat about this is your customers don't have to do anything except click next. So even if grandma doesn't know how to use the internet, she just has to click next. All right, so you can do one of two things. You can your virtual demo, you'll just do it on your phone. Just have your phone sitting there and just be on speaker, or you can have it like your phone's in. But you'll be on your phone and you'll be watching the presentation along with your customer. So you want to be on the website at the same time as they are, so that way you know what they're looking at, and you're on the same page. That way you can say, hey, what are you seeing right now, just to make sure that they're on point. Now, your demo is exactly the same. Nothing changes in your presentation. It's identical to your normal demo. You follow the script word for word. The only difference is that instead of flipping the pages in the blue book, you're clicking the next button, the little arrow down here, you're just clicking next. So instead of flipping a page, you're just clicking. Now, all of the cutting demonstrations are on videos, and they're already embedded in this presentation. So you've got the company page here, and then it jumps right into the first product, which is the cutting the penny, right? So when you talk about the penny cutting, all of these videos are silent videos, so you're just talking while the video is going. So you're talking about the shears while they're watching the penny being cut by the shears. And then after the shears, what's the next thing that we do after the shears? What's the next product we show right afterwards? What is it? What is this thing? The peeler, good. So right after the shears, the peeler, and the videos play automatically. Isn't that just beautiful? Right? So they're gonna watch while you talk. So all the things that you would normally cut, they're just watching on video. So that way your demo doesn't change at all. It's exactly the same presentation. So it's just cool, the same pictures, a little bit different than what's in your blue book. Here's the rope cutting with a special Cutco Ninja. Sorry, the internet here is a little bit wonky sometimes. Wonderful. All right, so then you double the edge. You got the forever guarantee. There's only one thing that's different on here, and that's we have a video of testimonials from customers talking about how much they love their Cutco and it's like a 2-minute video, and it's customers talking about how much they love their Cutco knives. The reason we do that is because when it's not in person, we need to build a little bit more value because they're not seeing it and feeling it. So we've got a couple little additions in there just to build a little bit more value, to help you out a little bit. Now, with the Homemaker plus 8 set, with the individual knives, you guys have a question? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting distracted by you over there. All right, so with the Homemaker plus 8 set for the individual pieces, now what's neat is that, I'm a guy, I can only focus on one thing at the same time. So, all right, so with the Homemaker set, each piece, you just click next and the video automatically plays. So when you talk about the paring knife, it'll play the paring knife video, so you just talk about it while they're watching it. So it does all the same things that you would normally do, as the bananas and kiwi and all that. It does that for every knife in the set. For the trimmer, shows the tomato being cut. Look how beautiful that is. It's just gorgeous. Oh. You guys are like mesmerized by this. Your customers will be too. That's why this is such a neat presentation. Oh, look at this, the spatula spreader. Oh, the sound of the crispy toasted bagel and cream cheese. Okay, good. You guys see how that works? So it's pretty simple. It's just like your normal presentation. I'm going to skip through these because you guys get it. Whoop. All right, and then, oh man, I screwed that up. All right, cool. Let's go back here. I was click happy. All right, so you go through the Homemaker. You have the price comparison, and then you have the Homemaker set. Now, if they're interested in the signature in the studio, you just click on here, and it blows up the signature in the Ultimate set. It blows it up right here, and then goes back to the Homemaker. Okay, so it presents the Homemaker set, and it says if purchasing the Homemaker, click here, and this will skip right to the gifts and accessories. That way, you don't show the drop-down process. Because whatever set they buy, it doesn't make sense to go through the other smaller sets. So you just skip by it. But if they don't get it, then it goes to the galley set, and then you have the skip option when they buy the galley set, and then it goes to the starter set. So it goes through each of the starters. Very simple, very easy. And again, nothing changes in your presentation. The only thing changes is you click instead of flip. Okay, the individual pieces, accessories, do you drink coffee, gadgets, table knives, outdoor gadgets, garden tools, add-ons, cookware, and it shows all the cookware sets. Okay, and then you call your manager and you seal the deal. Easy enough? Abby?
When we are doing the online demos, we still ask them to get out their offer.
No, yeah, good question. Yeah, don't have them get out their own knives because then they wouldn't know what to cut. Good question. All right, any other questions virtual? For recommendations, you'll get referrals the same way, except instead of them writing in the notebook, they're just going to tell you the names and numbers over the phone, and you'll write it in your referrals notebook for them. So they just tell you the numbers over the phone.
So when you go to close the deal, then is that something that you still fill out on your end?
Yeah, you fill out the order form regardless if it's in person or virtual, and they're just going to tell you their credit card number over the phone rather than you holding it and writing it down. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're on the phone, you have to like seal a deal. How are we gonna call you first?
So you can. So if you have if it's at your house, you can use your house line to like call your captain, or you can just say, hey, let me call my captain or my manager for a deal. I'll call you right back.
So how do you do the price breakdown? Or like the whole
Yeah,
set?
that's the only major difference. You won't be able to write down the prices.
Oh,
Yeah,
so just tell them those.
Yeah, just tell them you'll have to enunciate. And just really focus on the 5K.
So, since it is a Prezi, will they be controlling it the entire time? You can't see how
Well,
fast they're clicking.
Yeah, you're going to have it on your screen at the same time. So just make sure that they're looking at the same thing that you are. So every couple pages say click and say what are you seeing now, just to make sure that they're seeing the same thing that you're seeing.
Okay.
And
And you're
listen-
going to have to direct them depending on which way they go.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, if they're gonna buy a set of Cutco, they're bright enough to let me know when to click, all right? So
Yeah.
they'll be, I think they'll figure it out. Cool. You guys feel good about the virtual? All right, can I teach you referrals? Teach you recommendations? All right, grab that scholarship notebook, the one that had the wish list. So remember how the wish list was on the left-hand side? The referrals are on the right-hand side. So open up that scholarship notebook and then turn to page in your training manual, 16 in your training manual. Okay, so recommendations are really, really easy. They're really simple as long as you follow the script. Now, when I first started, I made a couple really, really big mistakes with my recommendations, and I didn't get as many as I wanted. And once I fixed those mistakes, then I got a ton more. So I'm going to show you my scholarship notebook from when I started, and I'm going to teach you some good lessons here, and then we're going to read the script a couple times, and you'll be good to go. It's really simple to get referrals. Most important is to make sure that your notebook is filled out the right way. Now, the first template on your sheet there, it's filled out for you. Is it listed 1 to 10 on here?
No.
Okay, I want you to list it 1 to 10 and double space them. List it 1 to 10 and double space. What's that? List 1 to 10 in double space for that first page. It should say referred by at the top. Whoever your first demo is with today, go ahead and write their name down there. So where it says referred by, go ahead and put their name down. And then make sure it's listed 1 to 10. This is crucial, having it listed 1 to 10. This is one of the things I didn't do at first because I was never taught how to do it. And then once I did, it made a major impact. So I'll show you how that works in just a second here. So whoever your first demo is, have referred by, put their name. Now it says name and phone number, and then it says relationship, so you know who it is, like if it's their sister or their neighbor. And then the other couple things I'll explain in a few minutes. So this was my scholarship notebook. This was my recommendation notebook. It was my AP Calc binder. I failed AP Calc, legit got an F, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to put this to good use because obviously it's not going to help me in my career. So I used that for my scholarship notebook. I also took an old social studies notebook from my closet and used that for my scholarship notebook. Now the pages are a little bit yellow and they're a little bit old. Don't judge. Shut up. So this is my scholarship notebook. Now, when I first started, I didn't number my pages because nobody told me I should. And I'll show you why that's so powerful, why that's so important in a few minutes here. So my first customer, I got 6 referrals from. Felt pretty good. And then I got 10 from this next one. This is from Sandy and Doug Hutchison. They gave me 10 referrals, and I felt pretty good. Now, the problem was I didn't follow my script. I just did it off the top of my head. I asked them for recommendations. They gave me 10. And that overinflated my confidence because I was like, oh, I got this. I'm really good at asking for referrals. Now, they gave me 10 because it was one of my best friend's parents, and of course they were giving me 10 because they wanted to help me out. Or they felt bad for me because I sat like such a doofus. Now, the next one, the Ehrlichs, they gave me 10 also. And I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. But I wasn't following the script. I was just winging it. And I got really overconfident. I thought that, like, I've got this, right? Like that overconfident ego. And then I got 4. And then I got 5. And this one, I got 12. You know what's weird is I numbered my page to 12, and they gave me 12. It should have clicked. I was like, oh, when I number it, they fill out the whole thing. Because like mentally, we don't want to leave things blank. Like psychologically, we want to fill things out. So that's why numbering the page is so important. But I numbered 12. She gave me 12. But it didn't click because I was, not that bright. I was just an 18-year-old. I still didn't really think very much. So the next one, they gave me 2. And then I got 4. And then I got 4. And then I got 2. And then I got 3. And then I got 2. And I got really pissed because I was like, why am I only getting 2 or 3? So I called my captain, I called my manager, and I said, hey, I'm only getting 2 or 3 referrals per customer. Like, I don't know what's going on here. And my manager said to me, he's like, sure, well, let me hear your script. Like, ask me for referrals. And I was like, well, I kind of like, do my own thing. And he's like, well, that's why you kind of like suck. And I was like, all right, what do I do? And he said, sit in your car. I want you to read this script 20 times in a row, and I want you to memorize it. He said, do not go to your next demo until it's memorized. So I sat in my car, I just read it over and over and over again, and I memorized it. As soon as I memorized it, it made a huge impact. Next one, I got 6. This one, I got 6. Next one, I got 4. And then I got 10. And then I got 6. and then I got 13. So I started getting more once I memorized the script because I wasn't sounding like a weirdo. Like at first I was like, hey, do you have any friends that like knives and eat food and do you think would want to buy stuff from me? I was saying all the wrong stuff. When I followed the script, I got a ton more. This one, I numbered my page to 13, and they wrote down 13. It finally clicked. I was like, oh, when I number my page, they fill out the whole thing. Because it's like psychologically, you want to, you want to fill things out. So the next one, before I went to my demo, I numbered my page to 12. They gave me 10. This is Claire Silphy. She gave me 10. She only gave me 10 because I numbered my page all the way. If I didn't number my page, she probably would have given me 3 or 4, but she gave me 10. Now at first she gave me 5. She said, I circled number 5 and I said, hey Claire, thank you so much for those 5. Is there any way that you can give me 5 more? She said, Drew, I can give you 5 more, but I promise you they're not gonna what? Buy. Because when people only give you a couple, it's not because they don't want to help you out, it's because they're only trying to think about people who would definitely what? Buy. Here's the thing. When they're trying to only give you 2 or 3, it's because they think it's helping you by only giving you people that they know would be interested in buying. But that doesn't help you because the nicest people are the ones who buy Cutco. So what I do, and what I did was I said, Claire, I just want the 5 nicest people you know. Like who are the 5 people that would be just nice enough to help me out, that would at least just sit down with me and watch my demo? She said, Drew, I'll give you 5 more, but they're not going to buy. Like they're the nicest people I know, none of them will buy. Sue Runger, number 9, Homemaker plus 8. Doreen Kluber, number 10, Homemaker plus 8. You know what's funny? The last people they write down are usually your biggest sales because it's just the nice people they know. Nice people buy the most Cutco. So don't let them judge their friends. Like that's a weird thing to know about your friends anyway. Like if Shane's customer is like, they're not going to buy knives. Like how do you know that about your friends? Like is that a weird thing to know? Like if they're in the market for kitchen knives or what their spending habits are on kitchen products? Like nobody knows that about their friends. And customers love to judge their friends. Like you guys know, like your mom, they're always like, judging their friends. Like, oh, she wouldn't buy this person. You never know, right? Plus, if somebody doesn't buy, can they give you a lot of referrals? Claire didn't buy. She gave me 10 referrals. She didn't buy, and a couple of her friends bought Homemaker sets. So don't think that if somebody doesn't buy, then their friends suck too. People who don't buy, they can give great referrals. Hey, she gave me 10, so what did the next person do? Gave me 10. Hey, this is Kim and Bob Tompkins. They lived in a townhome. They bought a Studio Plus 4 and a 5-pay. I remember it very vividly because I judged them a little bit when I went to their house. I was like, oh, they live in a townhouse. They're probably not going to buy a whole lot. They owned it. It's a townhouse. It still costs a lot of money. Of course they have money. Right? So they bought a Studio Plus 4 and a 5-pay. They were one of my favorite customers. They gave me 10. Now, the only reason they gave me 10 was because Claire gave me 10. See, because I showed this page, and I was like, oh, yeah, everybody gives me 10. Now, I didn't show them that other people were like giving me like 2 or 3. I was like, yeah, everybody gives me 10. They're like, okay, we'll give you 10 also. The 10th person on their list is Peggy Zungalo. That was the person who was at the attached townhouse. So it was just their next door neighbor. They said, Peggy's not going to buy, but she'll be sweet enough to see you. She'll definitely watch your demo. She's a super nice lady, but she's not going to buy anything. They didn't realize that Peggy had owned Cutco for 35 years. They lived in the attached house, and they didn't even realize she had Cutco for 35 years. She was a Cutco nut. She bought everything else that she didn't already have. She recommended me to 9 of her friends. Her best friend was Barbara Peterson. She bought a Galley Plus 6. Barbara recommended me to her daughter. By the way, that was that same day. So I saw Peggy. And Peggy's like, I gotta call Barbara. She sent me right over to Barbara's house, Galley Plus 6. Barbara sent me right over to her daughter Danielle's house, Galley Plus 6 also. So that one day was like over $1,000 in sales, and it was all because they wrote down Peggy. And they judged her. They're like, she's not gonna buy. But she bought big, and she recommended me to 9 friends. All 9 of them bought Cutco from me. So don't let your customers judge. Now she gave me 10, so what did the next person do? Do you see how it built momentum? Because they're like, oh, if everybody's giving me 10, I'll give you 10 more. Now, then I got lazy because I forgot to number my page because I was in a rush. So I forgot to number my page on this one, so I only got 3. And then I only got 2 because I was just backed up and I didn't have time to fill out my sheet. And then I got 10, and then I got 1. Some people think. And then I got 6. So now I started numbering my page every time. So I got 6, and then I got 10, and then I got 6, and then I got 10. So now I'm averaging 8 per customer. I was pretty good. I was feeling pretty good about that because I memorized my script and I numbered my page. That's it. Memorize the script, number your page. That's all you need to know. This is Mike and Diane Jaffe. They bought a custom set. It was like a pick 5 special. They gave me 5 referrals. I said, Mike and Diane, if you can give me 5 more, it would help me out a ton. Is there any way you can give me 5 more? They said, Drew, we'll give you 5 more, but we promise you they're not going to what? Buy. Check this out. Number 6. These are the friends they judged. Number 6, Robin Gall. She already owned an Ultimate set. They didn't even know. She had an Ultimate set. She bought 3 more pairs of Super Shears. Number 7 is Joyce Rubinson. She bought a Homemaker Plus 8. The next summer, she bought a Gourmet set. Eileen Stone. I called this lady every day for the entire summer. She never picked up her phone. Number 9 is Denise and Peter Healy. They bought a Galley Plus 6. The next summer, they bought a set of 8 table knives. And then Tom and Tony DiSilvestro, same thing. They bought a Galley Plus 6, and the next summer they bought 8 more table knives as well. So this one list of the 5 people that were the nice people that would definitely not buy a Homemaker, 2 Galley sets, 2 sets of table knives, a Gourmet set, and 3 pairs of shears. Do nice people buy Cutco? Don't let your customers judge their friends. You only ask for nice people because the nicest people buy the most Cutco. Now, because she gave me 10, what did the next person do? 10, and then 4, and then 10. And then 10. And then I just started using the right-hand side of the page. So 3, and then 4, and then 10, and then 10, and then 10, and then 10, and then 10. So I started getting 10 every single time because I started building momentum and building confidence. By the way, this is Denise Healy. She's the one who bought the Galley Plus 6 from the previous list. She was the number 9 on that list. This is her list. Phyllis Sambar and Betty Hancock, they were the 2 biggest sales on hers. They were number 8 and number 10, and they were the last 2 people that she wrote down. Okay, and then I got 1. 6 people in a row gave me 10. Then 1 person gave me 1. So lame. Next person gave me 1 also. Even more lame. But then 10, and then 10. It just keeps on going. You guys see why this is so powerful? So memorize the what? And number your what? That's it. Memorize the script and number your page. As long as you do that, you will get a ton of referrals. The quicker you learn this, the more referrals you're going to get. So page 16, let's learn the script. It says, ask for recommendations after you write up the order, but before you what? But before you clean up. Why do you get referrals or ask for referrals before you clean up? Plenty of time, exactly. You're going to be cleaning up while they're writing down names. Okay? And the slower you clean up, the more recommendations you get. So just make sure they're spotless. Are your knives clean yet? Are you up to 10 yet? All right, step 1. Ask for recommendations. It says, Mrs. Jones, how did you like my what? Great. Go ahead and pull out your what?
Cell phone.
Why do we have them out their cell phone? Yeah, they're not, because otherwise they're going to be like, oh, I just can't think of anyone. And you're going to be like, are your contacts on the ceiling? Like, yeah, they're going to be like thinking, like, I just don't know. I just can't think of anyone. Well, of course, you don't have their contact. Like, it's in your cell phone. Just get out your cell phone. All right, because when they get out their cell phone, they're going to start scrolling through and it gets addictive. Okay? So, Mrs. Jones, how do you like my demo? Go ahead and pull your cell phone because there's one more very important what? Here's where you can really what? By the way, if you sound lame, then they're going to give you lame recommendations. If you're like, here's where you can really help me out. I get paid every time I show Cutco, but I can only show it to people I personally recommend it to. If you sound lame, or if you have like the constipated nervous face, you're like, Mrs. Jones, here's where you can really help me out. I get paid every time I show Cutco, but I can only show people I can personally recommend it to. Not going to go over. Just smile. That's the key. The key to life is smile. You get whatever you want if you smile. Mrs. Jones, here's where you can really help me out. She's like, great. What can I do for you? Okay. I get paid every time I show what? With a smile. Every time I show what? Good. But I can only show it to people I've been personally what?
Recommended to.
So what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up is jot down 10. You have to say 10. If you say as many as you can, that might sound big to you, but how many are they going to write down? If you say as many as you can, they're going to write down how many? 2 or 3. Yep. So you have to set the expectation of 10. Are they always going to give you 10? No, but you have to set the expectation for 10. In school, when a teacher asks you to write a paper, what's the first question you ask? How many pages, right? And if they say 10 pages, you're like, even though you don't want to, you're still going to do it. But if they said, as many pages as you want, how many are you going to write? Exactly, right? So you have to give the expectation, not because they're always going to give you 10, but just because you're setting a mark of what you're shooting for, okay? If you ask for 10 and they give you 5, is that okay? Totally. But they're going to give you more than they would have otherwise, right? So what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up is jot down 10 people who might be nice enough. Stress the word what? Nice. Nice enough to what? To what? I'm not looking for people you think would buy, just nice people like who?
You.
Willing to take a what?
Look.
Here's a pen and paper, put down as many as you what?
Can.
And then what do you slide over to them? Yeah, the scholarship notebook, right? So their name is already on the top, their name is already filled out, okay? So Ms. Jones has their name on it, it's numbered 1 to 10. and you already have their name on it, so you slide it over. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Now, don't have T-Rex arms, because if you have T-Rex arms, you're like, so do you think that maybe, possibly, you could give me some referrals? They'll be like, or they'll be like, here's two, right? You'll be, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Just pass it over with confidence, turn around, and start cleaning up, okay? All right. It says, by the way, you can help me out and become a sponsor. This is really cool. So flip real quick, just peek at page 15. Peek at page 15. This is your sponsorship page. This is how you keep track of your sponsors. Okay? So, by the way, you can help me out and become a sponsor. If you can give me 5 recommendations, you become a sponsor. If you can give me 5 recommendations, you become a sponsor. If you can give me 10 recommendations, you become a double sponsor. So what is a sponsor? Once you get 50 sponsors, 50 people to give you 5 recommendations, okay, or 50 through double sponsor as well, you get a free piece of Cutco of your choice from me. It doesn't matter what it is, the K-bar is included. You can get a free K-bar knife from me once you get 50 sponsors. So 5 names as a sponsor, 10 names as a double sponsor. There's no triple or quadruple sponsor, just single and double. If you get 50, it's still double sponsor.
Okay, so like, and so
10 or more as a double sponsor.
so could you also get 25 double sponsors? Does that
Totally.
count too?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. That would be in a perfect world, your first 25 customers give you 10 referrals. I've never seen that before, but that would be pretty awesome. They
So on
sign
this
twice.
list, would you like?
Yep, you write their name twice. Yeah, so on that list, you can have them sign it or you can write it in, doesn't matter. I like to have them sign it because it's cooler like that. But it's them helping you out to get free Cutco for your sample kit. So every time you get 50 sponsors, it refreshes too. You can keep on getting more. So why do I incentivize you to do that? Why do I give you the opportunity to get free Cutco just by getting names? Well, it guarantees future business. So if Dan gets 50 sponsors, 50 people to give him 5 recommendations, that's 250 contacts. Let's say he ends up showing half of them and he shows 125 of them. At 60% closing and 250 average order, even with just the company average, the low average, that's $18,750 in sales. So without even our averages, that guarantees him almost 20 grand in future sales as long as he's getting 5 or more recommendations from every customer. So is that worth it to me to incentivize him with a piece of Cutco? Because it reminds him that he wants to get at least 5 or 10 referrals from every customer. Now, here's what's neat about it. If you have a customer that gives you 3, is it okay to ask them for 2 more so they become a sponsor? Yes, if they give you 5 or 6 or 7, can you ask them for a couple more to get to 10? So you have 2 options here. You can tell them about the sponsorship right away, and you can say, oh, by the way, if you give me 5, become a sponsor, 10, double sponsor, it helps me win free Cutco for my kid. Or you can wait until they start writing, and then once they start slowing down, depending on what they get to, then you can promote it. So like if they got to 5, then you can say, oh, by the way, if you give me 10, you become a double sponsor. Or let's say they wrote down 3, you say, oh, by the way, Mrs. Jones, if you can give me 2 more and you get to 5, helps me win free Cutco for my sample kit. So you can tell them right away, or you can kind of wait to see how many they're writing down at first, and then use that to ramp up how many they give you. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter, whatever your preference is, whatever you're comfortable with.
So like if they were to hit like 15 and all, like
Yep.
on those cases if they got a 13 and you asked like 2 more, does it count as like?
No triple sponsor. But the more they give you, the more it helps you out. So here's the thing. Also, you're going to have some customers that are social butterflies. Who's seeing somebody this weekend that knows everybody? That they have like hundreds of contacts? Can you ask them for 40 or 50? Why not? And especially like your aunts and uncles and your family, like your best friend's mom, you can be a little bit more assertive. Like if it's your best friend's mom, that's like your mom too, right? Like so you can just be like, Nancy, come on. Coffee mom. Like give me 20. Come on. Like Nancy, I know you got a lot of friends. Like you can be a little bit more assertive with people you know really well. Like if your aunt has a billion friends, be like, Aunt Sally, like I'm your nephew. Come on, like don't hold out. Like just give me your cell phone. Let's go. Cough it up. Right? So obviously you're saying with a smile on your face, but the more you tie them into your goals, the more you're gonna get. So don't stop at 10. Like we have a lot of reps that'll get 20, 30 pretty regularly. The record is Dom Arcuri. Dom holds the record for most referrals in a demo. Dom got 528 referrals in one demo. He's one of our assistant managers. So he got 528. It's a pretty nice list. So don't be afraid to ask for more, okay? And if they're tied into your goals, they'll give you a ton. We like that? Pretty easy? Now, let's say Shane has a customer who's like, I don't know anyone who lives in town because all my friends live out of state. You can get virtual appointments too. You can get virtual recommendations. So you can ask them, like let's say that Shane has a customer that says, oh, my mom would love this stuff, but she lives in Florida. You can get referred to them too because you can do a virtual. So don't be afraid to ask for out-of-town people also. All right? Easy enough? All right, so we're going to practice that. We're going to practice it 4 times each with your partner. Only partners of 2. So no 3 partner, only 2 partners 2. So make sure you have a partner of 2, and if there's an odd person, then we'll do 1 group of 3. But let's role play 4 times each. Just that step 1. Just step 1, 4 times each. Ready, set, go. All right, we feel good about that first section? Oh yeah. Solid? All right. So section number 2, step number 2 is very, very simple, and this is what's going to make it game changing. So when you get your referrals, is it going to be easier to schedule appointments with people when they already know you're calling? Would you agree that's much easier? Okay. So step number 2 makes it so every demo you get is going to be a piece of cake to set up. The better you do with step number 2, the easier this job is going to be for you. So step number 2 is a text heads up. After they've written down all these numbers, you got to wait until after they've written them all down, because if you ask them at the same time, then they're not going to give you as many. So it's they're going to write down fewer. So you got to make sure you wait for step 2 until after they've written down all the names and numbers. Step 2 says, how do you know these people? And this is where you fill out this column. So it says relationship. So you're going to fill out the relationship section when you say, how do you know those people? That way you know if it's their sister or their coworker or their neighbor. The next column says, it says home. That means home during the day. Or it says day. It says home during the day. Okay. Hey, Andrew. So it says, what would be the best time to reach them? And that way, if it says home during the day, if it's a daytime person, you're going to check, you're just going to put yes in that column that says home during the day. Whoever made my scholarship notebooks did them all incorrectly. So just let whoever did them, just let them know that to never do them again, or to ask first before they try to do something like that. They forgot the yes column, and then they didn't remember the day is. So whoever did it was just a rush job. Yeah, thank you. I would know it wasn't you because you're perfect. You have a yes column? Half of you don't. Okay. Yeah, so the yes column, exactly. It's half and half. They were half good.
All right, I will let half.
Half good is usually an F though in school, right? Yeah. All right. So you make sure you have a yes column because a lot of yours are missing the yes column. So the yes column is very important because this is for the next step. The yes means that that customer has already agreed to see the presentation and they're already willing to see. They've already given you the thumbs up. So here's how that works. It says, it's a lot easier for me when people know I'm calling. Can you please text them a heads up to let them know? So this is sample text where it says save in phone, forward to customer, and have them forward to their friends. Grab out your cell phone. I want you to put this in your phone. So you can use the notes section or you can just text it to yourself. But this is what you're going to have your customers send their friends. It's very simple, it's very easy. So most of your customers are on text message basis with their friends, and you want to get what's called a yes. A yes means that they reach out to their friends and they're already interested, they're already giving you the thumbs up that you can do a presentation for them. That way when you call, you simply just say, hey Mrs. Jones, it's Kyla, I'm the Cutco girl, Nancy told me to call you. She's like, oh yeah, she told me you were going to call. And then you just figure out a time that works in your schedule. Because otherwise, if Kyla's customer doesn't know that she's calling, she's going to have to go through the full script. She's going to say, hi, this is Kyla, I'm friends with Nancy, she was helping me out with this thing for school, and she thought you might be able to help me out too. Like, you can do that, we've got a script for that, but it's way easier when they already know you're calling, so you don't have to use a script. You basically just say, hi, I'm the Cutco girl, thank you so much for helping me out, what time is good for you, right? So this is what's called a yes. You want to get at least 2 yeses on every presentation you do. So every demo leads to 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. That's where you have exponential growth with your customer base. So the text, just save exactly this word for word. Now some of your customers, you might change it up a little bit. If it's like your aunt, you know, they're going to say like nephew or niece in there. So you can change it a little bit depending on who it is. But you just save it in your phone. Just say, hi, exclamation point. Just wanted to let you know that Sam, my Cutco guy, will be giving you a call. He's paying his way through college by showing Cutco. You don't have to buy, just listen and he gets credit. Thought you'd be nice enough to help. He's super sweet, smiley face emoji. So if they text it, let's say your customer wrote down 8 friends, they wrote down 8 referrals, and they send that text to 8 of their friends, how many of them do you think would respond back pretty quickly, like right away before you leave? If they send it to 8 of their friends, how many do you think would respond back right away? Yeah, like 3 or 4. Yeah, usually about half will respond back right away because everybody's got their phones on them at all times. So most of your customers, their friends will just respond back with either a thumbs up, or they'll say sounds good, or ooh, good, Cutco, I need some. Right? A lot of people respond back with a really positive answer. Is there a chance that somebody might respond back saying, hey, no thanks, don't have them call me? Sure. So if they wrote down 10 and 1 or 2 of them says no thanks, who cares? But if 3 or 4 of them say sounds good, no problem, or they just put like a thumbs up or one of the pound emojis or something like that, if any positive response, that's considered a yes. That means that that person knows who you are, they know the product is Cutco, and they're already expecting a call. We like that? Simple? Okay. If the customer is not a texting person, if it's grandma and she's like, I'm not going to text my friends because she doesn't know how, she can do the same thing, just call. So grandma can just call her friends and ask permission. But the texting is just easier for most customers. Okay. Now, for the people that don't respond back right away, you could follow up with your customer like the next day, and you can say, hey, did anybody else respond? And so you can follow up with them later. But most of them will respond back like while you're packing up your stuff, and you'll just mark it down who said yes. Now, if you have time and you're not in a rush to your next demo, just sit and wait. Because the more yeses you get, the more guaranteed demos that is. Okay? Don't call your referrals right away. Don't call your customers this weekend. Don't call any referrals this weekend. You can call mom's referrals, but those are the only referrals that you can call. If you refer to, or let's say you have a friend's mom that you show and she recommends you to another mom in your group of friends, and they recommend you somebody that you already had on your list, you just didn't have the phone number for, that's fine. So you can call any referral of somebody that you just didn't have the number for, but you already had them on your list, or you know that person. Just don't call anyone you've never met before. No referrals that you haven't met before, but if mom and dad refer you to people, of course, because they should have been on your list anyway, so you can call mom and dad's referrals.
How long should you wait before you call those referrals?
We'll teach you that through advanced training. Usually you call right away, like that day or the next day, but that's after your fast start. So in your fast start, you're sticking with your list. You've got so many people to call, but yeah, typically you call them the sooner the better because they're fresh, and it's fresh in their mind. Cool. You guys like that? All right, so we're gonna role play step 1 and step 2, do both twice each, and then we're gonna move on. So step 1 and step 2, twice each. Ready, set, go. All right, you guys feeling good?
Yeah.
Solid? Any questions with referrals? Easy? Stand up. Good? Stand on that. Okay. Guys, this is Sam Donelon, and Sam just started last week, right?
Yeah.
You finished your fast start yet? Or
Yeah, I finished it.
Just finished your fast start. What's your favorite thing about the job?
It's really flexible. Like I can do any demo whenever I want. So if you have a really busy schedule, it's not good for that.
And how many did you do the first weekend?
I did about 21 demos.
21 by Monday?
Yeah.
First weekend? How much did you sell your first weekend?
I got 550, maybe 6K.
5,500. So you made over $800 in income, almost $1,000 in income in your first weekend.
Yes, sir.
Was it a confidence boost for you?
Yeah, it was. Definitely.
When you left training, how many did you have once you left training?
Like just right out of the gate when I called mom,
Yeah.
I probably set up like 18. Maybe
So you had to get a
17.
couple more.
Yeah, I had a couple same days.
And what do you do before and after every demo?
I make 5 to 10 calls each time.
So before every demo, 5 to 10 calls. After every demo, 5 to 10 calls. What does that do?
It just makes your life easier. It sets up more demos. You don't have to do them at nighttime. You don't have to like, just cram in 100 calls. Nobody wants to call 100 people at the same time. It just makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, so you just call it in between all your demos with all your clients. Do you, what percentage of your customers buy sets versus pieces?
I'd probably say like 90% of people buy sets.
So you sell a lot of sets. What are the keys for you selling on a set?
I mean, I just reassure them that all these are discounted prices in our sets. So, I mean, you can definitely buy individual knives, but you're getting a way better price and better value for what you're buying. the sets.
Were there some people that you sold to that you were a little bit surprised that bought a lot? Like, who was it that you didn't think was going to buy a lot that ended up buying a ton?
Basically, everybody I've sold to has said that they're not going to buy, and then everyone wants to buy. It's almost like $1,500 worth of knives. So
How many out of 10 buy?
probably 9.
How many no sales do you have total?
2.
Only 2 no sales?
Yeah.
What do you have in sales now?
I think I'm at like 9,500.
Yeah, so almost $10,000 in sales. He's like 2 weeks into the job, and he's only had 2 no sales. And then with the sets though, is it just all the big sets, or do you sell some of the smaller sets too?
I've sold most of these 2 right here, such as the studio and my main ones.
What are the keys like when they say no to the homemaker and the galley? What are the keys to selling smaller sets?
Well, don't be all sad when they say no to a homemaker. Get excited because you have a crap ton of other stuff in here that you can sell to them. You want to be excited because you want to show them everything else that you have.
That's just keep your excitement out.
Yeah.
Don't get demotivated.
No.
Good. And who do you call every demo for deals?
My boss, Jake.
You call Jake for deals. And even if you know how to make the deal, what's the benefit of calling and checking in with them?
It just kind of reassures the customer so that they can know for sure what they're doing.
So even if like it's a deal that you know you can do, you still call to confirm that.
Yes, sir.
Have there been some deals that you didn't know how to do and you just had
Oh,
like
yeah.
a big wish list and he helps you do it?
Yeah.
So what do you do in that situation where you have like a lot of things written on the wish list, but you need help making the deal? What's that process?
I just call up Jake and we go through it. I put him on speaker. Any question that my customer has, we tell Jake and then I'll get everything written out for them.
Yep. So he just helps you wheel and deal.
Yep.
Makes your life easier.
Makes my life a lot easier.
Good. Any other tips on how to get the most out of their fast start?
Max your schedule out as much as possible. I mean, I know it's, you guys have social lives and all that, but if you guys can get 20 demos in a weekend plus, that's gonna help a lot out.
So just demos.
Demos.
Cool. Let's give Sam a round of applause. Thanks, Sam. All right, can I teach you guys how to win free stuff? Do you guys want free stuff?
Yeah.
Do you guys like concerts?
Yeah.
Anybody like concerts? What's better than a concert? Free concert. Free concert. Okay. So good. Well, we've got a program that's going to really benefit you and really benefit us at the same time. What's up, man? Hi, Trinity. Guys, this is Caden Montoya, and Caden is one of our top reps from our office. He's actually a sales manager in our North Denver office right now, and so he started with us last summer, was one of our top reps, and this summer he got promoted to assistant manager up in our Arvada office. What do you have in sales for this summer so far, just this campaign?
Just this campaign,
Yep,
20,
$20,000 in sales. And what percentage are you at?
40.
He's at 40%. So how much have you made in income this campaign so far? Just off your sales, not off your office pay.
9.
40, not 8.
Eight.
40, sorry,
I
math is
can't
not,
do math.
it's all right.
Not
He
a
just
problem,
collects
dude.
paychecks.
I just, right aboard.
So he's made $8,000 in income off his sales just this summer so far, not including his office pay, so well over 10 grand in income. How old are you?
20.
Okay, 20 years old. Anybody interested in that type of income at 20 years old in the summer? Can you give some tips on how to go after a big fast start? What did you sell in your fast start?
It was like close to 7.
So 7,000 your fast start.
Yeah.
And then any tips on how to get the most out of it?
Honestly, guys, whatever amount of demos you guys think you're doing now, multiply it by 2. I thought I was doing as much as I possibly could. Got out of it. Didn't do as many as I could, and I fell short of that 10K. And looking back on it now, if I would have multiplied everything that I did by 2, I would have hit my goal and probably then some. So if you guys are shooting for a 10K push, literally just go all out. I'm sorry, for a 10K fast start, go all out, and just you guys are rocket if you literally just give it all in that first 10 days.
Does everybody buy a set?
No.
Now, what percentage of your customers buy sets versus custom sets and pieces?
What percentage?
Yeah, what percentage buy sets versus pieces?
I don't know, 40%.
Yep. So you sell a lot of individual pieces?
Yeah.
Do you sell a lot of the smaller sets too?
Yeah, I sell a lot of the smaller sets. You just got to drop down the right way. Show them everything. Demo is not done after the homemaker. Show them everything.
Cool. And what do you do before and after every demo?
5 before, 5 after. Every time, guys. Every time. If you do that, you don't have to you get your demos booked. You get 5 demos ahead of you. You're always doing You always have your demos ahead of you. That's the way to do it. That's what I do after all my appointments. That's honestly why I'm here right now. Gonna make 10 phone calls and get the rest of my weekend booked up. See if I can't get a 10K push.
And this is I told them about calling your captain for every deal, no matter what.
Yep.
So this is a voicemail that Caden left for his manager Alex, and I'm gonna play for you. This is Caden's voicemail. So even if you know the deal works, it always makes sense to call your captain to seal the deal. But this is on a voicemail.
Hey Alex, what's up? Yeah, I'm in a demo right now. I was just calling to see if you could help me out with something really quick. So what I'm really trying to do right now is I'm looking at the basic essentials, and I'm actually with a really close family friend of mine, and I'm really trying to get them a good deal. So what I really want to try and do for them is, so we're looking at the basic essentials, right? And they're really trying to see if they can get the cheese knife and the peeler for free. Really? Sweet. Dude, thank you so much. Sweet, they're gonna love that. Awesome, dude. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. All right, bye.
So always call for a deal, no matter what. Even if you have the deal sealed, it makes a big difference for the customer. Let's give Caden a round of applause. Thank you, Caden. And Sean, just another order. What did you just turn in?
2 mini cheese wraps and a super share.
How much?
238 CPO.
And you're at 35%?
Yeah.
So you just made another $80?
Something like that.
So-
2 same day demos.
Yeah, nice. So he came in this morning, booked his demos, got 2 for the same day, and sold, what, 500 on the day so far? Right around?
Give or take, yeah. And then I have another one at 230.
So right around $500 in the day so far. He's at 35%, so he's made over $150 today. And at the beginning of the day, he didn't have any demos lined up. He came in this morning, made calls, booked them for the same day. It really impacted his paycheck. Not too bad. One left, Sean, what's your
Ultimate upgrade this morning.
ultimate upgrade this morning? How much
Yeah.
was that?
It was an $1,800 order, 500 for free.
So what was CPM?
1,800. I have to put it in the but
So over well over $1,000 order, and he's at 40%. So made over $400 in one demo. Life is pretty good. All right, I want to teach you guys how to make get some prizes, help yourselves out, help the team, and also help your friends. We have a program called Personal Recruiting. Who in here was recommended by a friend of yours? Who in here was recommended by a friend? Basically everybody in here, except like 1 or 2. I was recommended by my brothers for the job, so I'm really passionate about building our team through friends and friends, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my brothers. So we have a program called Personal Recruiting. This is how we do most of our recruiting. This is how we build our team. So 90% of the reps on our team are friends with reps who already work here. Why do you think we love working with friends and reps on our team? What's the benefit for us? More comfortable, right? And what else? Competition, right? So the competitive environment in our office is so special because nobody's stealing each other's customers. Like, even if you have some friends that are like customers that are overlapping, it's not like that's going to be a detriment to your sales. I was the 3rd brother to sell Cutco, and I did fine. Daniel, the guy you met yesterday, he's the 4th brother in his family to sell Cutco, and he's doing quite well. He sold more than all of his brothers have. So there's plenty of customers to go around. So, but the competition is really big, because if Joe's friends work here, Joe's friend Evan already works here, and Evan's already over $10,000 in sales. So Joe's like, all right, I got to catch up. I need to meet Evan, because then it's bragging rights for the entire school year, whoever wins in sales for the summer. So what it does is it makes both of them better. Joe's going to work harder because his friends work here. His friends are going to work harder because Joe works here, and they're all going to sell more. They're all going to make more because of that. So that fun, competitive environment is important. Also, it's just a cool environment. Like when you guys see your friends coming in and I'm introducing them, it's kind of fun to see your friends working in the same place. So it's like an extension of high school or college, and it's just that neat environment. So we love working with friends who reps on our team. Plus, it gives confidence, right? The fact that your friends work here and they're all making a ridiculous amount of money gives you confidence to say, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. So it creates a lot of confidence in our reps. That's why our office sells twice as much, and our reps sell twice as much as anybody else in the company. Actually, our averages are 3 times higher than the company average. So that's why we sell so much, is because we have that culture of friends of friends. So how does it benefit them? Well, listen, here's the thing. We're the only company that's hiring right now. At this point in the summer, it's like the end of June, what, 24th? It's June 24th. Is there any other job, any other company that's hiring right now? No. There are no summer jobs left. We're the only ones hiring. So anybody have a friend that just hasn't found a job yet? They just searched, they just couldn't find anything. Anybody have a friend that has a job but they just don't get enough hours? Like Talia, that's why she's here, is because she has a job, she just doesn't get enough hours. A lot of you, that's why you're here too. Right? Who's got friends that they have a job that just don't get enough hours at? Who's got a friend that has a job but they complain about their job all the time and they just hate it? Okay, that's almost all your friends because every other job sucks. So this is we really want to spread the word to everybody. I want every single 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old in the entire state to know that there are jobs available. Because there are so many students, there are thousands of students that are looking for jobs and need a source of income, and there's nowhere to look, there's nowhere to find those, and they have no idea that we're hiring. So most students, if they've been looking for jobs, at this point they've given up. And they just think that, oh, I'm screwed because the summer's halfway over, I'm not going to be able to make any money. And all those friends that have other jobs that they're holding on to that are making like $8, $9 an hour, they hate them, but they're still doing them just because there's no other options. Or they're just dealing with their 10, 15 hours a week that they're getting, and they're going to end up being broke in college. College is a lot more expensive than you think it's going to be. For those of you going into freshman year, get ready for a wake-up call because it's a lot more expensive than you think. So we want to be able to provide as many jobs as possible to as many students as possible. We want to continue building. We're not done recruiting. We want to build our team. You guys know that movie 300? Like with this badass, just like 8 packs, like everybody looks like me. I'm just kidding. I've never had one, I probably never will. But anyway, so the movie 300, that's our goal. This board up here, these are all of our reps that are friends and reps on our team. This is our personal recruiting referral board. So everyone who works here that was recommended by a friend is up here. So we want to fill this entire thing. So we're only halfway there. We're trying to build it really big. A big army always beats a small army. The only way that we can win more national championships, the only way that we can win more silver cups and break more national records is by having a big team. We have the most talented team. We're growing for the year. We're already up like 35% for the year over last year, but we got to continue doing that. We've got to continue building with great people if we're going to continue that growth track. So we really want to spread the word to everyone. Here's the other thing. There are so many reps who start at the end of the summer, like July and August, that just absolutely love the income opportunity they can have within a short period of time. Like in a fast start, somebody can make a couple hundred up to a couple $1,000s in 10 days. So even if somebody's going away to school in August, there's still like 6 weeks before they go to school. 6 weeks is plenty of time to be able to hit 25%, 30% or more. So somebody can make a couple $1,000s in income before school, which is more than a normal summer job anyway for the entire summer. So we have a special 4 to 6 week program that if your friends get started, and this is for you guys too, 6 weeks, 8 weeks until you guys leave for school anyway. So the same thing, but 4 to 6 weeks where they can sell anywhere between $6,000 and $20,000 with a Cutco and make anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 in income, right? Because $20,000 in sales is $5,000 in income. So that's a pretty nice summer job, even in just like 4, 5, 6 weeks. So we really want to promote the opportunity. We want to give everyone the chance to make money before school. Because Scott, one of the guys you met yesterday, Scott Lilly, one of our assistant managers, he was really pissed because last year he started at the end of July. It was like the 3rd week of July. When he came in for the job, he was recommended by one of his friends, but he came in and he realized that he had like 5 or 6 other friends who had worked here throughout the summer, and nobody recommended him. And he was livid. He was like, you had me in your phone. Like, all you needed to do was just give them my number. Like, that's all you had to do. And like, you didn't, like, because they judged, they were like, oh, I don't think Scott would be interested, so nobody recommended him. At the end of the summer, he was finally recommended by somebody. He came in, he sold 20 grand in a month, made 5 grand, but think about it, if he had started a month before. So he was just angry at all of his friends that didn't recommend him. Aaron Beckman was the same thing. You're friends with Beckman. He didn't start until July of last year, so he only had 7 weeks to work. But he had a couple friends in the team that had started in May and June, and nobody recommended him. So he was livid. It's like, I've been working at this daycare all summer, and nobody recommended, like, so the worst thing that can happen is they're not interested. I always say recommend to everyone, especially if you were recommended. So who was recommended by a friend of yours? If you were recommended by somebody for the job, and this might sound a little bit harsh, but I think it's kind of like, for me, I felt like it would be selfish for me to not recommend my friends because I was recommended to the job too. Like somebody referred me, and if I didn't tell all my friends about it, like I thought that would be pretty selfish to like not share the opportunity, right? So I recommended everyone. I recommended like 200 friends for my cell phone. Not everybody was interested, but a couple of them were. Here's the other thing. You have an opportunity to change somebody's life forever. Now, your lives are already changed just because of the training that you went through, and of course, some of you are going to really take advantage of the opportunity here and go through the roof with your sales, your income, and your growth. But if you recommend somebody to the job, and let's say that one person, let's say you recommend 50 of your friends for the job, and one person takes it up and starts working here. Well, that one person, they make a bunch of money this summer. Let's say they end up hitting 30% or 40 or 50%. They become an assistant manager, or they run their own office, or let's say they become just a 50%er and they pay their way through school. And the skills and experience they gain in the job, they land their dream job, and they get a great internship. We've got a guy, Mitch Rossi. He runs my Boulder office now. He's a branch manager, and his friend that recommended for the job only stayed around for a couple of weeks. But Mitch is now running his own office, so every time Mitch hangs out with that friend, he's like, "Hey, thank you so much for recommending me to Cutco. My life has changed because of you." And this kid's like, "All I did was just give them your number." So it's like not that big of a deal, but it can really change somebody's life. I mean, you look at Devin and Jake and like our pilot sales managers, and they just have the greatest life ever. They're like dripping with money, like literally dripping with money, and because they worked their butts off and they took advantage of the opportunity. Both of them were recommended by their friends. Jake was recommended by 7 different friends, and finally one of his buddies, Josh, said, "Dude, just go in for an interview, stop being a baby, check it out." Jake finally came in, and now he's one of the top reps in our division. Devin, same thing. She was recommended by a couple people. The one who recommended her that she finally came in and checked it out was a friend from cross country from 4 years before, from Chaparral High School, that she hadn't seen since freshman year. And then finally, this girl just had her in her cell phone. She's like, "I'll just recommend everybody." This girl's name is Rosa. And Rosa just recommended everybody in her phone. And Devin just happened to be one of those people. Devin's like, "Who the heck is, like, Rosa?" Like, she hadn't even seen her in years. And then, but she recommended her. She's like, "Sure, I'll check it out." And now Devin is like the queen of Cutco. And it's because some random girl who had her number in her phone recommended her. So I always say, just recommend everyone. The worst thing that can happen is they say no, but the best thing is you could really change somebody's life. So I'm going to give you some incentive, because I know you guys need incentive to be able to do anything in your life, right? So we've got a cool program. If you have at least, if you get 2 friends to start working here this summer, now once you get your first friend to start working here this summer, your name gets on one here. We've got to update this a little bit from this past week. But once you get 2 friends working here this summer, then you automatically win a cheese knife for free for your sample kit. So you get 2 friends to start working here. I give you a cheese knife for your kit. You're going to sell it every time. It's the coolest thing to have in your sample kit. Once you get 3 friends to start working here, you're in what's called the Personal Recruiting Scholarship Contest. In the Southwest region, the top 25 reps for the campaign get free money. So your sales plus their sales combined, and then there's a ranking. The top 25, you get scholarship money for school, anywhere from $100 up to $1,000 in extra income, pays for books. So it's your sales plus their sales. That's once you have a team of at least 3. So it's you plus 3 during that scholarship competition. Once you get 4 friends, here's the big one. Once you get 4 friends to start working here this summer, you get a $100 experience for free on me. $100 experience, and it can't be something tangible. It can't be like for a phone or for something that you can hold. It's got to be something you experience. So concerts are the best thing. I've already bought Sydney Gonzalez. She's going to Summer Jam. I bought her Summer Jam tickets for the friends that she recommended for the job. I just bought Brady LeFevre. I bought him tickets to Zed's Dead concert next week, so he's seeing Zed's Dead. And then something, what was it else? Nicole Popkin. I just bought her a $100 experience. She got concert tickets too. So once you get 4 friends start working, you get a $100 experience of your choice, whatever you want. It could be a concert, it could be skydiving, it could be bungee jumping, it could be anything you want. $100 towards an experience. Once you get up to 7. Once you get it down, there's 1 away. Once you get to 7, then you get another $100 experience. So you get $200 worth of experiences. You can load it up to do one big thing, or you can do 2 separate ones for $100. Once you get it to 10, this is the big one. You get 10 friends to start working here this summer. Not only get the $200 experience, and not only get the cheese knife, but you also win a limo night on the town. Now you're thinking, oh, there's the $10,000 Fast Start limo, and you're like, I'm going to win that one. Well, then you get two. So if you're going after the $10,000 Fast Start, you get that one, and you get this one. You get the two greatest meals of your life in one summer, 2 limo trips for recommending 10 friends for the job. Let's say you're like, that limo trip sounds good, but I don't think I can sell $10,000 in my first 10 days. Well, just get 10 friends to work here, and you'll enjoy the limo trip too. All right. So these prizes are all based on friends that you recommend for the job. You guys like that? All right. Now, is everyone going to be interested? No, not everyone's going to be interested. Is everyone even going to answer their phone? No. What percentage of people do you think even answer their phone when we call and offer them an interview to come in? Like 10, 20%. Yeah. So if you recommended like 100 people from your phone, we'd probably get in touch with like 15 of them at most. So realize that most people don't answer because they're lazy and they don't answer numbers they don't recognize. You guys aren't too. Well, no, you guys aren't because you actually answered your phone and that's why you're here. But anyway, we've got a special incentive because most people don't answer their phone, so you got to recommend a lot more people than you think that you actually need. So if you want to win one of these contests, usually about 10%. So if you want 4 friends to start working here, you probably need to recommend at least 50, 60 people. If you want to hit with that level, you probably need to unleash your entire cell phone. Now, I've got a staff of 12 receptionists, and their job is to win you these prizes. I pay thousands of dollars a week for my recruiting team. All they do is just call people all day long and invite them in for interviews. Some of you guys got a call. Who got a call from one of our receptionists? All of you, right? They just said, hey, your friend so-and-so works here, thought you might be good. Are you interested in some details? You're like, oh yeah. And that's how you came in. So they're going to do the same thing with your friends. So the more you recommend, the better it is because here's the thing. I don't like them to be lazy back there and just sit around and do nothing. They are bored out of their mind on Sundays. So the more people you recommend, the more the harder they work, and the more it puts my money to good use, which makes you more money because you get cool experiences. So I want you to really just recommend every single person you can. So we have a contest for how many names you can recommend. If you recommend at least 25 people, you get an extra day on your Fast Start contest. So not only do you get, it's not a 10-day contest, then it turns into an 11-day contest. If you can recommend 50 or more, then you get 2 extra days on your Fast Start contest. Now, if you're going after the 10,000, it's got to be within the 10 days because otherwise we don't want you to be like the Barry Bonds with an asterisk next to your name. So you got to do it within the 10 days. But if you recommend 100 friends or more for the job, then not only you get the 2 extra days, you also get on the spot today a red table knife. That way you have it to show off, so you get the home for the red homemaker. If you have this red table knife, then you can sell the red homemaker pretty easily because they're like, that's pretty cool. All right, so you get the red table knife for your sample kit today on the spot if you can recommend 100 or more. Now here's the neat thing. You don't have to write anybody down. Here's the even neater thing. You don't have to convince them. We'll do all the work for you. All you have to do is upload them into our system, and our receptionist will give them a call sometime this weekend and give them a call and offer them an opportunity to come in for an interview. So we've got an app for that. Okay? The app is really easy. It's really simple. Bert, can we send out the app? Okay. So we don't. You can't send the app anymore. Okay. All right. So there's an app for it, and if you bring up your phone, and go to the App Store. Go to the App Store, and if you type in to the App Store, you just type in Vector Marketing. It'll come up with Vector Marketing Personal Recruiting. So you'll see a little app that says Vector Marketing Personal Recruiting. And when you go to the App Store and you type in Vector Marketing Personal Recruiting, you download the app. It's a free app, obviously. So it's a free app. And when you download it, yep, that's fine. Vector Marketing Personal Recruiting. It's a free app. So when you download it, when you open it up, it's going to ask you for your rep number. Now your rep number is on the top of your training manual. It's also the same as your recruit ID. So it's the same as your rep number and your recruit ID are the same thing. So you're going to put your rep number in there, and then it's going to ask you for the first 3 letters of your last name. First 3 letters of your last name. Once you do that, it's going to ask you for access to your contacts. Don't worry, it's not going to put all your contacts in the system. What it's going to do is it's just going to bring all your contacts up. That way you can select which ones you want to upload. So when you say yes to access to your contacts, it's the same as the recruit ID. So what's the rep number recruit ID? So when it gives you, when it says allow access to your contacts, you'll say yes. Everybody will pop up in the app. Everybody's going to be checked off as a yes. What you're going to do is scroll through and uncheck anybody who you don't want to recommend. So like mom, grandma, the Jimmy John's delivery number, 911. Like uncheck all of those numbers. And then the rest will be uploaded to the system. Now, if you have a friend in there that has a weird nickname, okay, a weird nickname, you can click on them and you can change the name in the app. It won't change it in your contacts of your phone. It'll just change it in the app. That way, when it gets uploaded, it's not a weird name. We had a girl, and yes, it was a girl, uploaded her entire contact list without changing the names, and she had booty call 1 through 9. Now, I get that, like, you know, some people have that on their phone, but like, if you were booty call number 7 or 8, it's like, come on, like, at least put me in the top 5. Like, I'm that far down the rotations, like, all these people were busy, and then you called me? Like, so anyway, change the, so you can change any weird or inappropriate nicknames, change them before you upload them. You can recommend, and just, oh, here's the requirements. So the requirements are they have to be graduated from high school. So they have to be already graduated from high school. So don't upload anyone who's still in high school unless they're 18 already. Like they're going into senior year, but they're already 18 just because they're older for their grade. That's fine. Or if they're going into senior year and they're turning 18 like this month. If they're turning 18 like right away this summer and they'll be 18 before senior year starts, that's fine. Otherwise, just focus on people who have already graduated. So already graduated, or if they're going into senior year, they've got to be 18 already or turning 18 very, very soon. Okay? But don't judge, just put everybody in. Oh, also, we have a system of duplicates. So I know Sam is friends with a couple other guys on the team, and they have a lot of the same friends. If you upload all of those people, they'll be cleared out of the system automatically because we have a duplicate system that if their number pops up, they're not going to get barraged with a ton of phone calls. So if Sam recommends a lot of the same people that you're Donald this year, right? So if Sam recommends the other Sam's same people, it'll just get wiped out of the system. That way they won't get pestered with phone calls. So don't worry about, you know, if somebody else recommended them. You can recommend anyone you want. Out of state is fine too, so you can recommend people for other offices or other territories.
And so, do we still get, like, does it still count in the
Totally.
names if it's a duplicate?
Yeah, even if it's a duplicate, it counts for the contest.
Got it.
Yeah, so don't recommend everyone because even if we have to clear it out with the duplicates, it still counts for the contest.
Perfect.
All right, so open up that app and start and just uncheck anyone that you don't want to recommend. Once you're done and you've pressed submit, it will tell you how many you submitted, and you're going to tell Jake that number. He's going to put that number down next to your name on the board, and he's going to mark that down on here. So once you press submit, and if you have 25 or more on the front of your training manual, just write 1 extra day. If you have 50 or more, write 2 extra days. And if you did 100 or more, write 2 extra days. And then we'll give you the red table. That way you can keep track of your fast start days. Sound good? All right, let's do it. So as soon as you press submit, it'll tell you that number and you can show Jake and he'll put it on the board for you.